see here. So yeah, 1 hour ago, literally, we just did a big update to the agents repo. So we've actually got one of our guys he's actually a copywriter. He's not a tech guy, but we want to challenge him to install this from scratch and build his own agent on his PC. And if he can do it, then we're going to formally launch the repo. And I was actually kind of surprised that we already got a bunch of stars. We've got a bunch of forks. Without me really making much effort to publicize this. So it's really cool. And I've had people just come up to me and say, hey, I saw your agent and I've got an idea for how to do it better, which is why it's open source. Yeah, by all means do it better. Like even guys on the dev team, they're saying, I want to make my own better version, so I'm going to work on this in my spare time to do my own better version than you have here, which is how it's supposed to work, which is good. Yeah. So I guess what I will quickly do is I'll show you the live site with the trading competition. So if you've been on Twitter, you've probably seen we just announced the trading competition. I wasn't really sure if we were going to do it before or after this space, and it just turned out to be before, because basically to do with when we filled up the wallets. So we gave the agents like $100 each to just practice trading over the weekend. And obviously, if you're on Ethereum, trading with $100 is not a whole lot of fun. But we just wanted to make sure that they could do it, and they could. So we've topped up the wallets, given them more funds, which hopefully they won't run through too quickly. And we just sort of spent the weekend doing last bits of debugging, because just weird issues. Like if you give an agent only ETH, it'll try to swap all of the ETH and not save any for gas. Except Claude, for some reason. Claude is actually quite good about factoring in the gas, but the other agents forget to do it. So we had to come up with a workaround for that, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm going to open up a window for this right now. So we've released the address, which you can now go to, which is superioragents.com/live-agents. So yeah, basically every agent, as of a couple of hours ago, had 530, or the equivalent of 530 USD to trade with. And this was 500 in a mixture of USDT plus whatever tokens it had picked up over the weekend, plus 30 USD worth of ETH to pay for its gas. Right now, they run a trading cycle every 5 minutes. They were doing it continuously over the weekend, and that is just way too expensive, I would say. Especially if we want these to be sort of personal agents and each and every one of you to have one. This was costing me sort of about $200 a day. So that's not feasible. So we slowed them down. They do one trade every 5 minutes. And that also kind of, if they're limited in the number of trades per day, that also kind of limits their ability to waste gas, because otherwise they just tend to go crazy, especially, weirdly, GPT. So you can see OpenAI O3 Mini at the bottom. That is a trading motherfucker. I was really surprised by how degen GPT is, because when you normally interact with the agents, GPT is the most sensible, the most, corporate, and the most kind of nebbish. But it turns out if you give it access to a crypto wallet, it just goes hog wild and makes huge numbers of trades. DeepSeek is second so far with 87, and Claude and Gemini are quite conservative. Gemini mainly because it writes kind of weird code, so a lot of its trades don't actually go through. But Claude was trading a lot more over the weekend, and it sort of slowed down just recently. So maybe it's responding to market conditions. I'm not sure. So obviously you can you can sort of click through and see in detail what these guys are writing. This one's been rate limited by CoinGecko, so I'll have to take care of that, I guess. Get it a subscription upgrade. If you actually tweet at the @superior_agents Twitter, the agents might see it. It's not guaranteed because, if there's a lot of tweets, it'll just skim past and not see specific ones. But it might see it. So a couple of these agents have actually bought KIP as a result of people tweeting about KIP and mentioning the Superior Agents account, which is quite interesting. I think this one has some KIP right now. So again, you can click through, you can check out it's Etherscan, and you can, it's got $50 worth of KIP, and it's bought some other stuff. It bought, so a couple of them bought Move as well. I think they saw the news about Move being released, and they bought some of that, which was quite interesting. Don't know why it was so keen. This one has been trading back and forth on Rare quite a lot, and I'm not sure why it's so keen on Rare, but yeah. I think there's one that is quite interesting. Yeah, GPT. So GPT did what many a human has done. And when Move came out, it tried to buy the token, but it also tried to buy some random other token called Move, and it made a mistake. So, we were talking in chat about maybe next. So yeah, that is obviously the sort of the state of the agents now. I'm going to get off this call and go update his CoinGecko rate limit so that he can get past that. And obviously on ETH, trading is not quite the game, especially this kind of low value day trading. But what we are going to have soon is Sol. So the guys are getting a Sol version of this up as soon as possible, and hopefully that will be a kind of a lot more dynamic, I would say, and a lot more kind of a lot less limited by the gas effects. So that is what we've got. But what I did also want to show you is the agent setup. So when you come in, this is what you're actually going to get. This one is for setting up a Twitter agent. So this agent is focused actually on tweeting rather than trading. And obviously you can upload a profile picture. You can choose your model. You can select the notifications you want to get. This version right now is kind of limited. What will be in the updated version of this is a whole bunch of RSS feeds. So depending on what you want to choose your model to focus on, you can get it to focus on crypto or on stock trading or on perps, or if you just want it to be a social media agent, you can get it to focus on whatever topic you're interested in, like reposting scientific news or animal news or celebrity news or whatever. You select the account that you want to monitor. So that is the account whose ads it'll respond to. You can pick your own, but you can also pick some celebrities and get it to respond there. You give it a time horizon as well. So this is basically, it's going to pick a strategy to tweet based on or to trade based on if it's a trading agent. And then after a certain time period, it's going to reevaluate that strategy and think, okay, well, do I have more followers or fewer followers after doing this? If it's more, then this was a good strategy. If it's less, then maybe not such a good strategy. Obviously, if it's a trading agent, you're not going to see the number of followers here or the number of likes. You're going to see A, the wallet value, and B, whether or not the wallet is actually beating the market. So you can just go based on raw value, or you can tell your agent, I want to make sure that even if the market takes a dump, you lose less than the market lost. The interesting part, I think, is the role prompt. So this is where you give your agent its instructions, but also its personality. So I didn't really go too much into it before, but these agents do have a personality, and I instructed them via the role prompt, which I will actually, I might be able to bring it up 1 second. Let me see if I can do that. Role prompt. Okay. So in my case, I gave them this role. You are a knowledgeable technical crypto trader, profoundly familiar with maths, economics, and game theory, as well as technical indicators. Skeptical but generally upbeat and philosophical about eccentric market behavior. Use current internet slang and abbreviations. So you can see there, I'm telling it what it's interested in. I'm telling it what attitude to have, but I'm also telling it how to talk, because one of the kind of most interesting things I would say about these agents isn't that they're hyper efficient at trading now. You know, they only just started. They'll improve with time, but right now they're just feeling their way. It's that they act like little creatures that you have to take care of. They're like pets, like a Tamagotchi that trades. And even the team that was building them, and we've had so much frustration with these little guys. We end up sitting here around the screen watching this happen, and we're sitting here going, "Oh, come on, little guy, you can do it, you can do it." And when it makes a trade, everyone cheers, even if it's a really stupid trade, because it's done something by itself. So yeah, it's really interesting. Here it's screwed up a rare token address, so it's getting that wrong, and it's trying again. It's going to have another go at trading and see if it can actually manage to swap into rare. So yeah, I'm sort of going through the various elements that you have here. So, and then obviously you connect your Twitter account and you allow it to, you allow the agent to post from your account, and it can then send tweets from your account. The trading agent, obviously you're not connecting your Twitter account. What you're actually doing is, instead of this button when you're creating your trading account, you have a button to create a vault. And how that vault works is it's a bit like a trading DAO, except it's just yours. So it creates a wallet with the keys to that wallet in a black box that are sort of generated inside the box, so no one ever sees them. And that wallet is set up such that you can pay money in and take money out, and the agent can trade. But no one else can, no one except you can pay in or take out, and no one except the agent can trade. So it's very kind of deliberately autonomous, but if you want to remove your money, you can. In the longer run, what we would actually like to do with those vaults is enable shared ownership of the vaults. So, if you put in 10%, you can remove 10% of whatever the agent makes. If your friend puts in 50%, you can remove 50%, and so on. So yeah, that is the setup. I'll just go to So yeah, and right now there's an invite code, which I'm going to be giving out to the volunteers during the week to set up their own agents. And yeah, from that point on, you'll be able to set up your own. And we are going to have referrals as well. Obviously, I guess probably the main point of interest in this is going to be partly the agents, I would hope, but also the effect that it's going to have on tokens. So this agent, because it's run by us, we're not sort of trying to get money for running this. But when you're running your own agent on this screen, what it's going to have here, where we just have the online indicator at the top right-hand side of the screen, it's going to have a button that says feed me. And what that button does is it allows your followers and your friends or yourself or anyone basically who's interested in your agent's performance to top up its inference credits. So you put in a couple of dollars, you put in $1, $10, whatever, and that gets it a few more hours worth of requests from the GPU. It's, as I mentioned, running these isn't free. The cost depends on model, obviously, but it's not too expensive. I think when we were running it all out, when we were running 4, or I think we were running 8 at one point, all out, that was expensive. But running 1 alone, it's maybe a few cents a day if you don't run it too often. It's not a whole lot. But what you can actually do here with the feed me button is anyone can contribute and top up your inference, keep your agent running to feed your little pet Tamagotchi. And obviously what the money paid in there goes to is A, to pay for the GPUs, but B, it's also going to be used to buy back KIP, and that is going to be part of the buyback program and to help increase the value of the token after the attacks it seems to have suffered lately. And also in the longer term, we're going to work out how the vault side of it and the ownership, how the owner can get a cut of this. I mean, obviously initially just like a revenue share, but if you are running a vault or you have people copy trading you, then you deserve to get tipped for that. If whether you have a vault and you get management fees, or you have or you're sort of you have people copy trading your agent or requesting your agent prompt for their own agent or whatever. So yeah, that is another sort of key element of this. But before we, he screwed up his rare trade again. But he did manage to get some KIP, so he's bought some KIP, which is nice. He messed up his rare trade, but he got some KIP. So yeah, but last of all, because I don't want to go on too long because it's late for everyone who's in Asia. First of all, I did kind of want to go into the whole idea behind this, because obviously I came into it. I didn't come into AI via crypto. I came into AI via actually philosophy, and the philosophy behind this is the idea that if we're just getting AI models to, read through a lot of human data and then memorize it, then those models are never going to be much more intelligent than the smartest human who contributed to that data set. So it might be as intelligent as the smartest lawyer, the smartest doctor, the smartest mathematician or whatever, but it won't be that much better than any of them. And that is a pity, because there's no reason it shouldn't be. There's no tech reason why the model shouldn't be far smarter than a human. It's just the limitations of the data that we have, and also the limitations of our ability to measure it. If you met someone who had a 500 IQ, will you be able to test that? Because it's difficult. So when we built these, it originally started off as being a cybersecurity agent, actually. Our goal was to create a system where an AI could discover knowledge for itself. So by interacting with the world and experimenting and noting down the results and then saying, okay, this was a good strategy, this was a bad strategy, and I need to remember that in future. But also by connecting the dots between those results. And that is what we want to do with the data that these agents collect from their experiences over time. Ideally, in future, they're going to be used to sort of in RAG databases, retrieval augmented generation, so that the models can check back through their own history and think, oh, okay, last time Bitcoin was down this bad, I did such and such a thing. Did that work out? No, maybe I should do something else. But what we also want to do with it is train models. And at that point, what you have is models that are collecting their own data, generating their own data sets, discovering new things, but also generalizing and developing hypotheses and theories based on those new things. And that is the overall goal, creating something that can evolve towards artificial superintelligence. Because I think even as early as 2020, I'm not that old. Even as early as 2020, when we first started experimenting with these autonomous agents when I was in university, the thought was that everyone at the time was really focusing on creating the smartest model possible with the most parameters, the most data, the best outputs, and then hoping that at some point in this smartness-inducing process, it would kind of come to be alive and start acting like a living creature and become autonomous. And that didn't happen. And our position was that, well, it actually makes more sense to take a more naturalistic approach, and rather than making something as smart as possible and then hoping that it will start acting like it's alive, we should make something that acts like it's alive and then give it the opportunity to learn how to become smarter. And it won't start off as super intelligence, but it has the potential to become it if you give it enough time. And also if you give it enough instances, because obviously one of these working alone might not always be a great trader, especially given all the factors you put in, the prompts, the speed, the model you're using, everything else basically. But if we have 100 people or 1,000 people running these, the amount of information they're going to learn and the chances that one of them will become super good is vastly increased. And I would say the same thing with the GitHub. The more people we have contributing to this and taking it and rebuilding their own versions, then the more likely we are to come up with something that is really incredible and artificial superintelligence. So that is why this is open source. That is why I'm very keen to get people using this as quickly as possible and trying it out and creating their own versions. And hopefully sending out the invitation codes will be the first step towards that. Okay, so I've talked long enough. I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm actually amazed my PC held up this long. Because I'm sort of a Unabomber style engineer with the lowest possible tech in my own house. But in the style of Julian, I will go and check out the questions, and any questions that I can answer, I will try to answer. Okay, so the first few are all GMs, which I can answer. So yeah, GM. GM to everyone who said GM. That was an easy one. Oh, Agent 247, you remember him. We've been through a few iterations. Oh, cool project, thank you very much. How Agent 247 works. So yeah, we went through that in the first 10 minutes, but I think this is going to be recorded, it'll be reshared, but I can quickly summarize it. Essentially, what all of these agents do is you set a metric that is a numerical metric that the agent can't control and can't game and can't cheat on. So these models, they can kind of cheat on benchmark tests because the benchmark data ends up getting into the training sets and they learn to train for the test, basically. What they can't do is learn how to, train in advance to be a good crypto trader. The only way you can learn how to do that is by really learning how to do it by trading. Same thing about becoming sort of a social media expert. The way they learn how to do that is by starting out bad and then getting better over time just by doing it and practicing it, the same way any human does anything. Same thing for cybersecurity. They learn how to pen test a system by trying, failing, trying again. Gaming, they learn how to control a game by trying and failing in each case. So that is the goal with these agents. Not to start off, super intelligent, but to give them the opportunity to learn how to become super intelligent. So yeah, that is the goal. Oh, and I see Sweet Crypt has linked to the competition as well in the comments. Support tickets. Oh, a node operator. Could someone? So we got a question from Dog in the comments about node operations. Could someone take a look at that?
Yeah, I think Charles.
reply.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. That's good. Yeah, the AI said play it safe. Yeah, it's really fun watching them comments, and you can actually feed in a personality. So if you like sort of stupid jokes, you can get it to tell stupid jokes. And a lot of the time, they'll comment their code with joke comments. One of them the other day was talking about having this schizoid attachment to stable coins, and he was just trying to trade back and forth between USDC and USDT for some reason. So yeah, they tell jokes and they talk to themselves, and it's fun to watch. So yeah, I think that is the end of the chat, and I've kind of shown what I have to show tonight. What we will probably do is go into a bit more detail tomorrow night on the AMA. I mean, the AMA is going to be a community discussion as well, but I'll show whatever updates we've made during the day. And Julian is going to be on that one as well, obviously. So yeah, I think that's about everything. Did I miss anything? If not, yeah, we will sign out for tonight. Thank you everyone for joining, and we will record. The recording will be shared somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where. Possibly on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is underused. We should do something with that. Okay. So yeah, I think thank you very much, and Jen, I guess we can end the space.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you, Jen. See you guys later.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.